everything, but all like right now, all of their audiences are niche. So for like the bigger labels, it's just not profitable yet. But it's gonna get there. I see it getting there. Especially like the names that are booking out like shows and spaces and event spaces and arenas.
Yeah.
It's a lot more. It's getting there.
Yeah. I feel like slowly but surely they're starting to like get out there.
Ask the question again, sir. Just
What do you call it? What was the question again?
I think you said something about
The level of music in the UK. Where is it at?
And I think you broke it down with in terms of like mainstream and underground.
Yeah.
I would say mainstream is always gonna do what mainstream does, in terms of like it's always gonna make a particular type of sound. When there's a wave of music, everybody's gonna follow that wave of music, and it's whether or not you like that wave of music in the time in it. So whether that be drill, Afro swing, or the sample era, and do you know what I mean, all the phases that you have within the mainstream, it's gonna do that. But then within the underground, there's a lot of quality there. Like for me anyway, like you said, I think you said before we started recording that there's original sounds and stuff like that. And for me, like the production quality like has been risen as well in certain underground artists like Geordie, for example. Fucking even like Vince, you know what I mean? Like there's so many different people that are actually pushing like their sounds and trying to actually experiment and do shit. And this Kwollem project, I don't know, do you know what I mean? Like so there's so many different artists that are on the underground that are cooking and doing their thing. So yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I think especially with Vince, the jazz cafe thing, reimagining his songs but with jazz instrumentation, and that was interesting to see, and then see the build up to that as well. Because I think my only thing is it's just not profitable yet, and that's the question in my head: is when does it become profitable to be this good at your specific thing?
Well, explain it, elaborate on that, like in terms of like you say, because you said some of these artists they've got niche fan bases and whatnot.
So I think in my mind it's like there's some artists that are they're making waves and they're at a place now currently where they will sell out a 700 person show now, and the majority of us will still not know who they are. So I mean that's what I mean by like there are these niche groups that are super aware. There's a guy from Wales called Lemfrick.
Yes, we had him on.
Who is crazy. And I just shouted him up. I just shouted him on Twitter. I was like, yeah, this album's sick. He replied to me like no one else has. I was like, you don't know who you are. You don't have the audience size, but the music is already there. Like the quality of the production, the structure of the body of work, the nuance in production, actually, not even just the quality. Because one thing I love hearing is when I can hear like what almost feels like an orchestra, like there's that much variety of instruments in the sound.
Man.
It's like it's done. It's a finished body of work.
Yeah, he's cold, and he's a good performer. I've seen him live. I went to his show. It's cold.
I've never seen him, but the energy comes through in the song. And then the thing in my mind is like, that person ticks all the boxes to sell out a 3,000 person show.
100.
They will be able to hold it down.
100.
It just hasn't got the attention yet, so it's not deemed as profitable to do that yet. So the larger market hasn't heard of it, and that's it. That's the only thing holding it back.
But you know,
in my mind.
I think I hear you fully on that. But I think certain things, certain artists, the way I see them, like having a cult fan base, for example, like the Lemfricks or like let's say the Lens or whatever, This Worlds and whatnot. These people have like core fans in it, and I feel like growing with your cult fan base is the best way to do this artist thing. Then actually transcending into like the mainstream and red-tetter, and then now you have all these expectations and red-tetter. Do you know what I mean? Because like I say for example, people like let's say Wiz Khalifa or Frank Ocean. Do you know what I'm saying? Like these people, they have core fan base that have grown with them, and they've just got bigger and bigger over the years and whatnot. Little Sims. Do you know what I'm saying? So those are kind of artists that do quality music, and they've gotten a fan base that's grown with them over time. So I feel like obviously yes, we would want the wider masses and millions and rare to tear, but when you've got that cult fan base, I feel like that's always better than having the mainstream love.
I used to think this, but I guess my question is, do you think that's possible in the 2020s? Because I don't think it's possible in the 2020s.
Why don't you think it's
To be successful.
For the cult fan base thing to be captivating enough for you to be able to hold that and build based on that. I don't think it's possible in the 2020s anymore. I think Little Sims, but the majority of the time she did that was in the 2010s. Most of the people that we would name that have that now they built it in a time where attention wasn't the social currency as much as it is now. And I think that's in my mind, that's the difference. It's like right now, people are, like I said, there's too much there's too much around. If you're locked into one artist, it's kind of hard to stay there and not because of choice, just the way society is now. So many stimuli everywhere. Everyone's trying to pull your attention and say, look here, look there. So it's harder for that cult fan base to follow someone's journey for 10 years until they get to the good bit. And that's why I think people who are like really good quality now, who are starting to form their niche fan base, and they're at that 700 person attendance of a show thing, they are not going to have the same journey as the people who didn't have as much competition for attention in 2010s. And that's why I think now it's like, I think TikTok has shown that one of the things that TikTok did to music for me was it showed me how fickle that core fan base is now. Like they will love you with all their heart until there's something else that's louder and more able to captivate attention pulls their attention away. And it's not that the music isn't good enough. It's just that's where our social minds are now. Like most attention spans are shit now.
No, 100%. But 100%. I feel like, I don't want to keep using him as an example, but I feel like he's a perfect example of what we're talking about here, right? In terms of Len, like his fan base is like, it's not something, I don't think it's something that masses listen to, but if you go check like his shows and whatnot, like they come out, do you know what I'm saying? Like, they actually come out like for Donny, and it's been like I don't know, I would say it's been a slow burner-ish, but I think when his thing connected, it connected type shit, and like he's kind of got those cores, and you're saying take it to the next level and whatnot, so it's going to be interesting how he does that. But yeah, I don't know. I thought, because for me, the way I see it, is once you have your core fan base, you can always be fed in it. So in that way, you don't need to be going signing off all this contract and whatnot, because you got your core fans in it. And you got your core fans, you can do your shows. Even like Love, the guy in America called, is it Love Russell or something like that?
Yeah.
He does like
Good Company.
Yeah. And he's kind of done a thing where he puts on his own shows and his shows in his back garden and whatnot, and that's how he built up his socials and Rare Tear, and through that he's built a sort of a core fan base that actually come out and check for him and buy his merch and whatnot. Do you know what I'm saying? And with all of that, that's why I feel like that's still the lane to go for certain artists, depending on what kind of artist you want to be. Like if you want to be the Drakes of this world, like you want to be the commercial, do you know what I'm saying? Then you go that way, innit?
It's the truth. It's the truth.
You go that way.
Because even with La Russell, it's like there is a ceiling to that, and I think there is a chance that he'll break through that ceiling. But you need a lot of luck for that to happen.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it depends, because for him and everything I've seen of him, he's happy with that ceiling. For him, if he gets close to that ceiling, he still feels like he's succeeded in what he wants to do.
Facts.
So he doesn't need to change what he's trying to do. Whereas for other people, there's a lot of, like my brother is a musician now, And the way we approached the beginning of his career was intentionally to avoid falling into this thing. So the beginning of his career wasn't hone in on one type of thing. It was variety. Don't tell yourself you're any one type of musician. And there's someone who grew up singing, plays viola, but now he's a rapper and does goes in.
Yeah.
But variety. Let the people who are interested in you know that you're capable of doing it all. So that when you then hone in onto your thing, they can still see the elements of the other things in the thing you choose to do. And then that's the buy-in. And then you can pivot whenever you want and you're not selling out. But if you're locked into the thing you deliver, you've gathered this niche audience based on that one specific lane. The moment you want to explore as an artist even, there's resistance in your own audience.
Yeah, because they're not expecting that. That's not what you've shown to them.
And the only time you can get away from that is if the group that are your biggest fans aren't actually that deeply invested in you, then you can pivot whenever you want. And I think that's what you see with Drake. Drake can make any type of music because no one is going to Drake for substance that's attached to a certain type of delivery he's doing, which is why he can have that Bad Bunny song. To me, was a bad idea.
Terrible song.
It was a bad idea. I think it could have been something else, somewhere else in
that
time.
That one was just a business move, innit?
Exactly.
But he's made better songs with Bad Bunny. That's their issue.
It's just a...
What are you saying? Artistry's not there.
I'm not saying that. I just don't think it was a good song.
That's tough, man.
I just don't think it was a good song. That's it. I just don't think it was a good song. But in terms of business, yeah, you're aiming yourself at a huge market. Is it the best example that you could give? No. But
the numbers will be fine.
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter how it actually sounded.
Either way, yeah, it doesn't matter. But yeah, just going back to that prior point you made about the core fan base, I feel like it takes certain moments from outside to help build it up. Like
features and whatnot.
I'm trying to think.
Like a collab with La Rosa and J. Cole that could take him to...
That would,
Yes.
That could take him to a different...
Because I'm trying to think of certain examples. I'd say a probably more niche one would probably be Jim Legacy doing the background vocals on Sprinter, for example. That then opens people up to who is this guy singing falsetto on this banger? Oh, this is the guy that dropped Homeless. Is it Homeless Pop Nigga Music? Homeless Nigga Pop, or whatever. A phenomenal project. But and then that will then big up his fan base. Do you get me? So yeah, just certain moments. Cause I don't feel like right now to build a core fan base is pretty difficult.
You reckon?
Yes, but without help, pretty difficult.
With the socials?
Yeah, because bro, look what... Okay, go through your average Twitter feed. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different things vying for your attention. Yeah. And then you're hoping that the artist is hoping that that one thing that they post is something that you will see in the midst of that and then click on and then be interested in that. That's more difficult now today than, let's say, in 2015 when it was just blog sites and whatever that were giving you listen to this that. Yeah.
Most certified tastemaker. But what about when artists have their moments and they have a viral moment of let's say, I've forgotten those girls' names, those two girls where they're running about and they're rapping their lyrics.
Okay, the Hello Christ girl. I can't remember.
Yeah, that when artists have those moments, do you reckon? Because I feel like those moments are gonna help them grow in terms of they're gonna have a certain amount of people that love them for the style of music they said. Like you said, in terms of once you create a certain type of music and you grow in that and you gain popularity, people are gonna like you for certain type of things. Yeah, isn't that still a way of creating a? To be honest, it's difficult to see how true these fans are because, like you said, the TikTok thing is bare fickle and whatnot, and you don't know till you actually start selling shows and doing shit like that. And a lot of these TikToks, not all of them actually, not all the time translate to actually booking and selling out shows and whatnot. But yeah, so it's like, to be honest, I've talked myself out of the whole point now. Because I was trying to make the point of, can the TikTok still allow them to create the niche fan bases, but you can't really tell till they actually start trying to do shows and whatnot.
My big answer is no. But it's not a hard no. I think
it's not straightforward like that.
Yeah, it's like, actually, it's because where I would start is, what does it mean to be a fan now compared to what it meant to be a fan 10 years ago? When I came across Kendrick Lamar, that was the only album, like Section 80 was the only album
100.
that I would listen to from cover to cover for like an 8-month period.
100.
Yeah.
Whereas now, to be a fan is like, oh, I saw your TikTok and I followed you. And then when you post, I like.
That's crazy. When you
and I turn on notifications. Like so I see the is there every notification that comes up on your phone that you check? No. So being a fan doesn't, you're not as invested. So it's harder to get more people invested in you like that. And then they are gonna buy your ticket, and then they're gonna be like, you've got merch, I'll buy. It's a lot hard. Like, you have to. I kind of operate like a 10% rule with just in life generally. I just picked a number one day, but I kind of view it as like, for me, if I want 100 people to respond to something, then I need to do a lot so that 10% of whatever I do, I need to contact like 1,000 people, knowing that 900 of them are just gonna air it. And that's what TikTok has turned it into now, where you would go to a blog site because you want to hear a rap album, and when you found one and it's good, you're listening to that for ages.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's just, people are just there, innit? They're just there. They're not really there for anything, to find anything. So you're throwing it.
Yeah.
900 of them won't catch it. 100 will catch it, but your video will say 1,000 views. So when you go to sell tickets and you only sell 100 tickets out of 1,000, yeah, makes perfect sense. But that's the world TikTok has created now. It's like, what it means to be a fan is not that deep anymore. Like, people are not actually invested in artists. They're just invested in the experience that the experience they have when the song plays. That's it.
Yeah. That's a fact.
Because even if you try and do the conscious stuff, like, let's say the Kendricks and the Coles of this world, how often, like, we was having this discussion off air, like, how often do they don't get played as much as the pop, do you know what I'm saying? So it's brazy still, because I do remember, like, the first couple albums that I listened to, it was literally those albums, like, for months on end, like.
But they built up the credit.
Not all the time.
Oh, how do you mean?
Because I remember Thank Me Later, when that first came out, I was listening to that for a while.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, them artists, they're almost the last of a dying breed. Like, you don't get to have that time with an artist anymore.
I don't know, that's just down to the era that we're in, though. Like, in terms
but
of
that feeds into why fans are more fickle nowadays. Because
100.
there's very little
Better
time
options
to spend with an artist in their world, in their music, whatever landscape they want to create for people to be a part of. You're not afforded that time anymore, just because there's so many other people trying to get your attention. And that's another thing why I think going viral, for example, is a gift and a curse. Because on one hand, you get thousands of eyes on you, but like you said, you don't know the percent in which are actually going to take the time to look further check for what you're actually doing. So, yeah, I feel like artists are just, it's a rough spot to be in, to be honest.
It takes away from the development of artists as well.
100%.
Like, a lot of artists are blown overnight and then don't know how to perform yet. It could be like some artists, it's their third song that's making them gone to the moon, and now they're doing mad shows and they don't know how to perform. They just got the one song, so they're literally learning how to perform whilst they got like on the go type shit. Like, it's crazy for a lot of these artists. So yeah, it's definitely a gift and a curse, but I feel like it's also Lil Yachty was talking about in a J. Cole about how the technology and accessibility for people to make music has also decreased the demand for quality and whatnot. Do you know what I mean? Because anyone and everyone can make a song now. Do you know what I mean? So it's crazy.
But it's also like, what do you want? I think that's why I always boil things down to like, what do we want as the population? Do we want access, or do we want? Because I mean, there's a level of exclusivity that makes you revere something. It's like, okay, cool, that's on another plane. That's why it needs to be like held in a certain way. And then the more you break that barrier down, the closer you are to the people you respect, but also the less you have to do to cross the barrier, because you've broken it down now. It's not a massive wall that you have to climb. You can just hop over it now and call yourself an artist and put music out there. And now you're that, what's the word? The oversaturated is the thing everyone likes to say. I don't think it's oversaturated. Just don't listen to everyone. Just have. And this is my personal opinion, but I think the way life is gone and like all the like social pressures and stuff, there's so much pressure for everyone to be aware of everything that's going on, every musician that's dropped, every album. Whereas you can just, and then that makes it harder to just be disciplined with your listening, because you can just say no. You can just say, I want to listen to this type of artist, so I'm going to. And it was easier to do it in the 2010s because there wasn't as much pressure. Whereas now it feels like everything is an ad, everything is a promo video, everything, every TikTok is marketing because everyone wants you to follow them so that they can build their brand up. Every reel is someone trying to sell you on their product, their person. So it's like everyone's trying to pitch to you. So do you even get the mental space to think, what do I actually like in this space? I think that's the artist side is, do they have the space to think, what do I want to do that's not going to cripple my numbers? And then the audience side is, what do I actually enjoy listening to? Or is this like, Drake is the vibe, so that's what we're listening to for now. I think a lot of people are in that space where it's just whatever's the vibe, that's what we're listening to for now. And then it will change. That goes on for 5 years. Now people are like, oh, the music is this, the music is that, there's no substance. No, we've been starving for 5 years. It's just that we're noticing it now. It's just catching up with us now. So I think there's a massive thing in that of like, actually the audience is damaged now anyway. The audience is finished now, and really, in my opinion, the only way a let's say rap, like a good rapper who has substance, the only way that person pushes through is on the shoulders of J. Cole, Kendrick, potentially even still Drake, if that rapper keeps their, like, true to their sound and what they're trying to do. That's the only way they're going to push through it. Like you said, it's off the credibility of them and picking the right type of feature. You don't have to have a verse. You can sing like the backing vocal of something, get your credit, pushes your career further. You don't have to change your sound. There are different ways to approach it. But I think that oversaturation is killing us all. And they just keep giving us more stuff.
Yeah. Because it's just a lot nowadays. It's a lot. And brother, go through whatever social media app you have. Like you said, one after another. Like, you're always going to be seeing somebody trying to rap or trying to say, check my music out or whatever. And it's like, bro, it's a lot, G. Sometimes Man just wants to scroll in peace or whatever, like.
Yeah.
Gee.
Because I definitely have an EP on SoundCloud somewhere. Like,
Bro.
even me, like, you're right. Even me. And I'm really strict about it, and I only rap for fun. But everyone has the technology to do it. Everyone, bare people, like, the market is saturated to a point where it even feels like if you have a little bit of ability rapping, why are you not doing? Why are you not recording a song, putting it out there? Why are you not also jumping on there? Why are you not pushing your thing as well? Yeah. Instead of you to ask yourself, what's the different or new or interesting thing I'm bringing to this table?
Yeah.
If there's nothing,
I think also from an artist point of view though, I feel like artists need to make the decision of what kind of artist they want to be, and once you've made that decision, you can kind of then maneuver how you maneuver in it. So whether that be you're gonna make the popular rhythms or whatever, and do you know what I'm saying, or chase certain sounds or look for certain features or go on certain platforms to try and push your thing and tear. Like, if depending on kind of artist you want to be, once you've made that decision, you just gotta be calm with it and kind of like don't be mad when certain people have certain critiques or whatever. And do you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, loads of people don't like Picasso. Loads of people think abstract paintings are just kids throwing paint at a wall. That there are, I like comparing arts across different arts. It's like, okay, yeah, we feel like this about this, but in other arts they have these exact same problems as well.
100.
And you're right. I think pick your lane and stick to it. I guess that's where the Drake situation is a little bit interesting, because there's like, I feel like there's an ethos or a perspective that he looks at himself through. But in terms of the music and what he's putting in the world, he hasn't picked a lane and stuck with that. But he's picked a lane in his mind of, I'm going to be everywhere. I'm going to be ubiquitous. I'm going to be everywhere and everything to everyone. And I'm going to make the music that's going to allow me to do that. But it's playing with fire, but rocket fuel and fire are very similar. It will take you where you're going quicker. It can burn you as well. So yeah, I think it's definitely it's a catch-22. This whole thing is a catch-22.
I agree.
But I want to talk about the Kwollem tape, the Melo tape.
Yeah.
I think for me that's the opposite of all of this. I think that for me that is something that's like, it's almost annoying how good it is at what it's trying to do. It's almost annoying. Yeah. It's like, this is...
Just quickly though, before we get into the column, let's do a quick intro.
Okay.
Yeah, my name's Iris, top shooter, art dealer, TCF dripper. You already know. Highland FC. We got again. Hip Hop Ultra. That's me, man. That's me.
It's your boy Max, aka Max very own, aka Max just here, aka Nick without headphones, aka already know what time it is, head on to the Papiers Association.
Mid.
Aka I keep forgetting it. Back outside boys. Aka Timothy Williams. There's another one that I'm gonna say, but that's next year. We'll save that for next year. But yeah, man. But yeah, we got a special guest in the building.
Awesome.
What are you saying? What do you want to go as? Because I feel like you have many names. So yeah.
Yeah. I've actually changed it. I changed it the last 2 weeks again. So I'm going by my middle name now. And I think that's the name I'm going by. So I'm going by Farouk.
Cool.
And that's,
sick.
FKA Quest.
Cool. I love that. But yeah, actually, I did want to circle back to something before we talk about the Kwollem tape. You said you dropped the EP.
Yeah.
What was the motivation behind that?
I'm just good at loads of things, so I just do them. And I don't ask myself questions of, should I do this? Is this my thing? So there was like, throughout 2022, I think it was 2022, I just would rap for fun. So I would just hear just listen to instrumentals from time to time. I have a bunch of friends that produce, so they'll just send me whole packs or whole files of beats and just like make something. Let's see what happens. And then in October last year, a friend called Komi Kamo did this thing called Playtober, where he makes a new beat every day for the whole month.
Mad.
And then he just puts it on a shared drive, and it's just like, anyone who wants to rap on this, he'll put the stems in the file. If you want to redo the beat, go ahead. He'll put color palettes if you want to make some art to it. So I did that, and as a result, I had like songs. I was like, man, so just put the best ones together. Like, for real, I just like doing. If I can do it, I'm gonna do it. And then just move on to the next thing. So
Because I've definitely heard you. What was the thing where you could like record yourself on Twitter?
The voice things.
Yeah, I've definitely heard you rap Homecoming bar for bar.
Okay, yeah.
And then I heard like, alright, cool. You've definitely got like the breath control. You got the rhythm down pat in it, so it makes sense why you could make music.
Yeah, no, in another life I was a musician. Like I was a choir boy. I used to play guitar, keys, drums.
Mad.
And then I said science, and now I said community. But
Fair play.
Yeah, different lives.
The
EP is, you know what? It's preferential treatment. So message me, and if I like your DP, I'll send you the link.
That's crazy.
if you don't get a link, it's not my fault.
Crazy. I hear it. So, I was gonna take it from it, but it's not even that type of podcast.
I certainly want to know now.
Nah, I was gonna talk about what type of DPs we're talking about, but never mind. I feel like
what?
That's yeah. Never mind. Let's keep it music. But what am I saying? Yeah, Kwollem. We back to Kwollem, yeah. Yeah.
What were you guys saying about it? Is he a producer?
Yeah.
Okay. Because he dropped a tape like this before, not like this, but he's dropped
what's
a tape
it called?
with different
C
people.
to C. No, first one was.
I remember C to C, the train thing.
What's it called? Is it called Hood Antics? I think. I can't remember, but it's on Spotify only. And then he dropped C2C. I think, is it 2 years ago? And then he's got this now, Melo. But yeah, man, this album, first track, I'll say this, it made me like wanna have a kid. Like, big man thing. I'll be honest, cause I was just thinking like, just some of the things Joe James was saying about having Disney thing on ice.
Yeah, that was hard.
Pulling up to school to make sure my daughter's the best in the class, and just stuff like that is things that I would want for my kid if I had one. But
I said Lilo and Stitch on TV on ice.
bro, that's what I'm saying. Things like that.
Man.
And it's like, bro, I don't know, man. Just made me emotional, low key. Like, just thinking about potential plans and that. But what do you guys think?
To be honest, when I was listening to it, it reminded me of the conversation you guys were having about the comparing UK musicians to Kendrick. It kind of reminded me, not that I would compare them right now, but in terms of approach to subject matter and how different it is to contemporaries, it put me in that place of like, okay, this is an interesting way to approach this thing. A couple of songs on there that just made me, when I hear good music, it makes me want to make good music. So it's just like, I wanna. That's why didn't I think of that? That could fit in that gap. That's crazy. Can I do something with that? and every song made me want to make a different type of song. I was just
Yeah.
like, this is music. This is art. This is inspiring. But yeah, I think and this is just a personal thing, I always prefer less features. If I have to choose between, and there's a couple of songs, there's like, there's 4 names on it, it's like, it's not bad, but I always want to hear more of the main artist. Like, if it's your album, I want you to be like 80, 90, maybe even 98% of the album.
He's not rapping on it, is he?
Nah.
No.
So this is a producer album, though, isn't it?
Even if it's just that, like, I don't want to hear bare people. Like, there's an approach that I and this is just personal. Like, there's just an approach that I don't know, because in my head I always ask the question of like, did I enjoy this because of the other people, because of you? And that's the thing that I don't like. Like, even if you're the producer,
but that's fine sometimes, no?
This will bring me back to the question of fans. So I want to be the fan of the artist I clicked the name of. So I want your thing to be the biggest thing. My biggest takeaway should be based on you. So if my biggest takeaway isn't based on you, then it's like, it's harder for me to buy into you as a whole thing.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't want to. I hear it.
Like, there's a guy called Vegan that I listen to, and it's like entirely instrumental, or he'll sample people's voices or little snippets from movies.
Vegan.
Yeah, VEYGN, I think.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say the SEO that would be brazy.
But yeah, he's like, it's all him, and you don't hear. There are some songs where you hear bars on, and there's maybe one feature. But yeah, I really get a sense of, my appreciation is for the artists who produced this thing, whereas with too many features, it's just like,
yeah, but you do that and then they start saying, "Oh, he's boring," and whatnot. What do they try to say about Cole?
Oh, brother.
no features.
Oh,
Yeah.
brother.
What are they saying about Cole? He needs to
I don't know.
It's one-dimensional.
Yeah. So it's, I mean, obviously, that's obviously just your take on things, but yeah, no, I hear it fully. Yeah, you never want to hear the main artist get cooked by a feature.
Why? So then what's the point of having them as a feature then?
Parody.
They're supposed to bring something different.
Yeah, it's like, it's meant to, in my mind, it's got,
I'm not supposed to enjoy what they're doing on the track more than what you're doing. Yeah.
Me personally, I feel like, okay, yes.
He's a Drake fan, so.
Oh, stop it. Let's not even talk about Drake. I'm just talking, if we're talking about in the realms of rap, for me, if you have a feature, I'm assuming you, like you said, you brought them on for parody, but at the same time, you brought them on because they provide something different to what you do on a track. And you would hope that they showed their best in doing that. Yeah. So I don't see why them possibly outshining you whilst doing that is a bad thing.
No. Because we're here because we like said person. And now I'm just like, what that person, the feature that you put on the track is supposed to be a bonus, like an addition type shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's not supposed to, I'm not supposed to overlove what they've done more than what you've done. Like, I'm supposed to love what you've done together and say, okay, yeah, this is cold. But when I'm like, okay, I don't know if I really needed what you've done, like, you kind of got washed in that. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why with the issue, if we're going back to it, like, first person shooter, do you know what I mean? Like, so, like, on the Lil Yachty thing, they said, quick deviation, they said, he did it for the song purposes, whereas trying to be the competitive nature and whatnot. I think that's just Drake showing that he's what type of rapper he is, isn't it? He's not on... He's not on...
Stop that.
Stop that. What do you mean stop it, bro?
Cole explicitly said Drake is from that cloth. It just wasn't for that song. He's from that cloth of, yes, and he said, I want to take your head off whilst rapping. But for that particular song, he wasn't going for that. But people seem to paint this narrative, because he
How
didn't...
is that good enough?
What do you mean? How was that good? That's the explanation given.
Yo, that's a question.
That's the explanation given. Just because you don't like it, that's fine.
That's not good enough.
To you.
That's not good enough.
So artists should do what you want.
Yes.
No, that's not how artistry works, bro.
Bruv.
But it's how fandom works.
Yes, fandom, that's fine. But don't expect artists to adhere to that just because it's what you would possibly want. Bro, that's not how artistry works, in my opinion. You take what is given and then you critique it whether you like it or not. It's that simple.
I want to flip what you just said and ask it back to you. So are you saying that artists don't have a responsibility to cater to their fandom?
No. It shouldn't be their responsibility.
What do you mean?
No.
Why not?
Because you're an artist, you ultimately create what fans came to you initially for. So for fans then to dictate what it is you want from them, what they want from you,
valid,
bro. That's just mind-boggling to me.
My follow-up question is then: if an artist doesn't cater to their fandom, should they complain if they lose their fandom?
No.
Okay.
I don't think they should complain.
So can you see why Drake can't stop being Drake?
I agree. I agree. But for me, Drake aside even, fans should not dictate to artists what it is that they want and expect that to be given to them. Otherwise, you would have artists in which they're not growing. They'll be giving you the same shit that you liked from years ago. I like that, so give me more of that, give me more of that. No,
I agree because from an artistic point of view, yeah, you've got to live life and feel and express what you felt and lived through your art, and then through the art, and that's how you also connect with certain people because they actually feel connected with the experiences you're talking about within art. And that's also what helps the popularity and whatnot. So I feel like it's kind of like it's almost like I'd say not double entendre, but like it's a catch-22. Like we've been saying that. Yes, you kind of got to stick to your guns and see the artist perspective and live your life and do what you want and not listen to the fans. But at the same time, when you've got a career where you've listened to the fans and you've kind of done what's popular.
Name me, okay, because we're deviating too much from this Kwollem thing. So I'm just going to ask this to you guys and then we'll circle back.
Yeah.
But name me an artist, in your opinion, who has done that and it's worked out successfully.
Done what? Like,
catered to their fans. In terms of what they want. Fans have asked for a specific thing. The artist has done said specific thing.
Drake.
And it's gone well.
Drake?
How?
What do you mean how?
In what way?
What do you mean what way?
What has he given fans what they want?
Don't the masses want him singing and rapping at the same time?
They want him singing and rapping in a certain way about certain things.
The masses? I don't think so.
Okay, certain parts of his fan base.
I think the masses are really happy with what he's providing.
I agree. Okay, cool. No, okay.
I have one. Kano. I mean, Kano listened to record labels. It didn't go so well. Listened to his fan base. Went better.
Do you know why? Do you know why? Yes and no. Yes, in that it did work. However, I feel no, in that he only went down that route because it was symptomatic of what else was happening around him. At the time, the whole scene was able to be successful. You have to do the pop music that, in retrospect, doesn't really sound well or age well at all. But just cater to what is opposite of what made you popular. So instead of doing grime, you're gonna do pop, rap, whatever.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. But I do get you in that. Yeah.
And to be honest, that example makes me. I think I need to walk back something I said earlier, because I still listen to rock and roller. So I think there is, mate. But so there was something you said earlier that I disagreed with, which was around like your core base, and then follow like actually. Yeah, maybe I was wrong, because I would count myself as like a Kano core fan from young, and he didn't cater to me. He went wherever he wanted us to go, and because I was attached from very early, I went along for the journey as well.
Yeah.
I think there's a part of me that's like, actually, yes, I wouldn't be honest if I didn't accept that. Like, actually, yeah, a core fan does have the capacity to follow you, but then I think that's where we're in the 2020s. I don't think that's gonna happen nowadays. Whereas like, I listened to Night probably for like 9 months, again and again and again. That one song has been on every phone I've ever owned. What young person is doing that now to be able to be that invested, so that the artist can do whatever they want and they're still going to be attached?
Yeah.
That formula just isn't mixing the same now. But yeah, definitely, yeah. Because it just made me realize, shit, yeah, no, there are some terrible songs that this guy has made, but I will still stand for and be on the dance floor by myself if I have to.
Exactly.
But, nah, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, you are right. You are right in that artists shouldn't cater to their audience. I think that's not the purpose of art. The purpose of art isn't to please other people, ultimately.
Yeah, yeah.
I think there is a thing around...
That's what I'm a hypocrite as well, though. I know that.
Because you know that, but you want the art to please you.
Yeah, exactly. Literally.
I mean, yeah, it's not meant to please other people. I mean, there's a thing in... You trusted your instincts and you produced something and people liked it. And then you trust your instincts again. And then hopefully people like that you trusted your instincts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they don't, then you were never meant to have widespread popular acclaim. You were just meant to be the person that made the thing you made.
Yeah.
And that was it. But no one wants that, because this is capitalism now. We all want to be Drake. We all want to release 5 albums in 6 months. We all want the streams to never drop by a single penny. We all want our faces on billboards. We all want to be the biggest name in the game. So no one has the patience to just be good at their thing.
Yeah.
But again, that brings me back to the Kwollem, because that's like, it feels like someone who is actually satisfied just being their best version of what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
And that's why for me it's like, it feels like the entire opposite of the Drake situation.
Yeah, I agree. Feels like, this, as every project goes by, like he's just honing in and just developing this quote unquote mellow grime sound that he's created. And yeah, it just works. And also back to the point you made about the features and whatnot. I don't know if he has like some sort of is it like a producer rapper thing going on with Joe James, but it feels like Joe James is almost how do I put this? It seems like Kwollem is the what's the guy in the choir? The guy that the conductor, and then Joe James is the lead singer, and then the features are like
the other instruments.
Yes, exactly. I feel like that's how it kind of works, because the same thing happened on C2C. Joe James, for the majority, was the main guy on every track, but I think on here, I think it's only 2 songs that he's not a part of. But no, 3. Because you got the Dexter and Newsagent and Mover. Got Unknown, T and Bex, which is a beautiful song, by the way.
That's really, the Bex verse is really interesting.
Yeah.
Bex is cool.
I'm actually gonna have to look into.
And then the DC song, 110s. But Yeah, man.
The production on here is crazy. The flips on here are cold.
Brother.
The flips on here are sensational. I know. There's a couple on there that caught you.
Brother, listen. When what's it called? The No Heart song. When it went into the Gas by the Hour flip, brother, I jacked that immediately. And Novelist, bro.
Yeah, Novelist went crazy.
I don't think I've heard anybody in recent times that fits grime. Just sounding, nobody sounds as good as he does on grime as he does. Probably not since like maybe like P Money or Gets or some shit. Like, I don't know, man. But definitely in terms of like the newer generation, he's the guy for me.
Would you say?
Like, in terms
I
of
think
grime.
that's down to maybe the way his voice sounds as well, isn't it? And he's
Yeah.
got like a very distinctive.
Yeah.
And he's very it's distinctive and like assured type shit in it. Like when he's in the delivery, like do you know what I'm saying? He can tell he's
Yeah.
confident in the way in his rapping ability and whatnot. Like, yeah, man. I think kind of like how do you call it? Like the street arrogance or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But like you can tell it through the delivery, innit? I think that's why he just stands out like so coldly for me anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah.
He's like a young OG at this point, bro.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking that he's either past or approaching 10 years now anyway.
Yeah.
For himself as well.
yeah. And I think and he's probably
Yeah, he's been
not
about.
past mid-20s. Because I think he got on the scene early, like
His teens,
15,
yeah.
16. Like, what's the
There's like
clash?
there was like a young, I can't remember the name of the thing. There was something he did that he won when he was a teenager, and then that put him on stage with, I think it was Wretch, I'm not sure, but it put him on stage with a bigger name, and that was when I became aware of him. I was like, oh, this kid is. And also, I was beating myself up because why couldn't that be me?
I hate you.
But yeah, I remember that clear as day. Like, yeah, this is interesting. Where's this gonna go? And then grime was on the decline at the time, or on its last legs, really, in my opinion. So it was kind of like a thing of where's this kid gonna like step into?
Yeah.
He's another one that's, I would say, got his own core fan base, and he makes music for himself, and they also have an understanding of he's gonna create for creating purposes, type shit. Well, I don't know actually, because I don't know if his core fans loved the California.
Nah, I love them projects.
Yeah. I know you did, but you're a lover of music, innit? I'm saying the core grime heads and that love him, innit? That's I don't know if they fucked with that as heavy, but I'm pretty sure you don't love it. You're saying about £100, innit?
Yeah, but again, let's not forget what your fans want. But bruv, take what I'm giving you. If you don't like it, that's fine.
It's hard to say that though, because
how? Why?
I say that because it's the fans that pay for this shit.
Oh, brother.
It's the fans that allow a man to actually create this shit too.
I hate you.
Otherwise, a man's just gonna be working the next month or working on the next job. And a lot of artists are doing that to fund their thing. But when an artist is in the point where they do this full time, you are kind of like tied into what the streets need, innit? And every drop where you're not feeding them is a risk, but you kind of gotta go with that risk.
It's the price you have to.
Yeah.
The price of everything.
Literally.
You want to be that big, that's the price. You don't get to be that big and not pay that price. You don't get to. That's not an option, so stop picking it.
Facts.
Bro, I just feel like fans can be very entitled.
Well, you have to establish the relationship you have with your fans.
100%. 100%.
And I think that's what you're leaning towards with novelist fans. Like, they know I feel like he has set what they should expect.
Yeah.
So they can expect things. They can but it's in line with what he's gonna do anyway, and that's
Yeah.
different compared to them saying, "You're a triangle, be a circle."
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, 100.
But this thing of fans shouldn't. It's not possible, man. You can't be. Art is a reflection of the times, and there are
Yes.
people in the times who have the right to critique what you're doing.
That's fine. The critique, please have it. Have at it. That's fine. You don't have to like it. I'm not saying you have to. But to think that artists should just give you what you want, I feel that goes against the very reason why they became an artist in the first place. Because they became an artist, in my opinion, to give their worldview, give their take on certain things. Not what you want them to do. Yeah, you enjoyed what they gave you, hence why you became a fan. That doesn't mean that because you've become a fan, they should now continue what you got into them for in the first place. If you get what I mean.
It's like fandom shouldn't freeze you in time.
Exactly.
But it's also a thing where it's like you see how I say I don't like the singing rappers and whatnot. That's something that I say, innit? I don't like the singing rappers, yeah. But it's also depends on who it is and depends on the song. Like there's certain songs from Future that he's singing and I love it. Do you know what I'm saying? And there's certain songs from Drake that I like, and there's a lot of songs that I don't like from when he's singing and doing that shit. So it's like, even Wretch Free too, like there's times where he's singing and I'm like, I enjoy you singing. Actually no, tell a lie. There's a handful of times where I've enjoyed him singing, but it's like, bro, I want the bars. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's me being hypocritical saying, I know you can do that, but please give me the bars. You know what I'm saying?
And the thing is, like, I want to be like, there's a removed perspective I can have, but then there's a really close one. So, like I said, my brother's a musician. A couple of weeks ago, we did the first show, and he's a rapper, but because he can sing, he's created this like demo tape, and submitted it to me to review, and it's all singing. I think there's one song with maybe one verse with bars on it. So obviously, I'm like, this is not what I'm used to, but artist, explore your thing, go on. Yeah. And then we get a booking, he does this show, and he sings 3 songs, 15-minute slot, done. And I just remember watching it and thinking, I needed bars. That was my takeaway. It was like, what you did was good. You did all the vocal warm-ups, you hit all the notes, the audience were loving it. We're never doing that again. Not that you're not gonna sing, but the bars need it needs to be equally balanced. Like it was interesting. It was a good experiment. You have the range to touch those things, and we can involve them. But you had built up so much value and so much of a reputation for being a good rapper, and then people came to see you at a show, and you didn't do the thing that made them buy the ticket to come to the show and see you. So from that angle, it's like, we should never do that again. So that's why I get what you're saying of like, actually, you can do other things, but the thing I like, let it be there. Like actually let it be there in a good amount.
You know, my pushback on that would be, would be that there's gonna be, like, there's certain fans for everything, innit? Like, there's certain fans that like a specific type of hip hop, or like the people that are singing, rapping and whatnot. Do you know what I'm saying? There's gonna be, like, there's people that like Len, for example, or the old. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's gonna be fans for everyone, innit? So it's a thing where depending on the environment / crowd that you're performing at, that's where you kind of judge where you want to take it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's the only pushback I would say on that. But yeah, no, that it does make sense, because obviously if the brand is rapping and whatnot, but you also want to be able to show that you can still do the vocals and whatnot. But yeah, the balance is key though.
Balance and intentionality, because why are you doing it? Because if you are, that show, that was a set list because it was an experiment. So however it went, it was a success anyway. We learned. So it's fine to do. but there's gonna be, and then in my mind it was like, this is a 15-minute set. It's fine. It's okay. If we had an hour, then it's like, yeah, dudes are singing some songs with bar, like spread it out more. Then it's easier to balance it.
Yeah.
But now we know that if we have a short amount of time, don't bait people. Don't make them buy the ticket thinking, I've heard him spit, he's lit. And then they show up and you're just singing 3 songs back to back. No bars, no rapping at all slow.
Oh yeah, I would hate that.
Okay.
I would hate that.
Yeah, in that, okay.
So
Yeah.
that's where I'm like, okay, cool, yeah. I see what you're saying. Even though I'm on the side of artists shouldn't budge for fans, but I don't think it's a realistic ask.
I get you. In that
But I don't think it's a
context, I get
realistic. But at the same time,
But if the
there is a
crowd-
level of
But it's a thing where it also is on a double-edged sword though, because it's a thing where if the crowd were expecting bars, and he came out singing, and he was still able to turn them over and they were enjoying themselves, then it's like you can't really. It's kind of difficult to judge as to whether it's something that you shouldn't do again, because obviously it's a thing where you still got the crowd engagement. Do you know what I'm saying? And the crowd still loved it. That's the point of a show, really, you know. So, and even though it was an experiment, like for a 15-minute set, like I said, I mean, yeah, it's something that, again, balance is something you're gonna need to incorporate, but it's still something that I wouldn't say that you shouldn't do ever again type shit. Innit?
I'm hyperbolic sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that. Yes, it was a learning thing, but it just made me kind of recognize the perspective you were coming from of actually. From a fan perspective who hasn't been in the studio with the musician and has heard a certain thing before buying their ticket, there is an expectation, and you can't just say fuck that expectation. You can't.
Yeah.
Because that goes back to the question I asked before. It's like, if you are going to say fuck the expectation, do you deserve to have fans? If any time the fans say we like this, you say fuck what you like, I'm going to do this instead. If they drift away from you, do you deserve, like, do you have the right to be upset at them for doing what they needed to do because you were doing what you needed to do?
Yeah, you shouldn't be.
I think it's the risk you take in it, because
it's
the risk you take, and that taking that risk is also opening you up for potential new fans as well, isn't it? So that's also the thing that you're doing it for, isn't it? Because this is something I say to Vince as well, like, bro, not every song is gonna be for all of your fans that want a specific type of thing from you, innit? Yeah. So drop what you want to drop, and whoever gravitates to it. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the way I see it, and that's the way I think artists should see it as well, innit? Like, instead of like thinking, oh, fans want this kind of thing, they want trap this, they want that. Do you know what I'm saying? Just do what you want to do, and whoever gravitates to it type shit, innit? Like, that's the way I see it, and once you live with that, you're kind of Gucci, like, do you know what I'm saying? You'd understand that, okay, even if the song doesn't do well, like, in comparison to the other stuff that you do, it's fine, because it's connected with certain people, and if they've connected it with the way that you kind of wanted them to do it, connect to it. Like, I'm not gonna be able to connect to certain R&B songs because I don't really fuck with it like that. But someone like Mike's or you, I don't know if you like R&B like that, you might connect with it heavy because you understand and really fuck with that kind of sound, do you know what I'm saying? So there's different fans for different sounds in it, so I think that's the way artists should be looking at that, like, in terms of like dropping.
Do you think you can pay your bills with that mentality though?
No chance.
That's because I fully agree, but I'm a fan of the struggling artist narrative, so I'm willing to walk that path.
I think it's one of them ones where you can eventually.
But how many people are willing to go through that to get to that point?
Yeah, but it's not supposed to be easy.
It's
not supposed to be easy. Not supposed to be overnight. Overnight success is never as good as a graft, because it's a thing where, like, it's almost like a carrot type shit, isn't it? Like, a carrot plants its roots in the ground and that, before it looks like it's. Do you know what I'm saying? And once the foundation is set, and then you're consistently doing it, and then all of a sudden you gain that popularity, the foundation's there. Do you know what I'm saying? With the fan bases and whatnot, with your fan base that you've got, then whatever happens, like, nobody can really say anything to me. That's the way I see it, innit? Like, if you've consistently shown that you're going to be creative and do different things and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like you said, in terms of the variety, like, not trying to stick to... Well, to be honest, yeah, with that thing, like, doing everything or sticking to one side, there's arguments for doing both, or either or, in it. Like, and I don't know. I think, depending on what artist you are, is depending on what lane you should do in it. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, and what, if you're happy with having a ceiling and whatnot, because like you said, like Russell and whatnot, he's happy with the ceiling that he's got because he can pay. He's in a position where he can pay his bills and whatnot. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's all that matters, really. Do you know what I'm saying? You're creating art and you can pay your bills. That's I think that's the best thing.
The thing I've been coming to contact with more is the middle ground, where you're not massive and you're not broke, and you're here and you're an artist, and maybe not that many people know about you, maybe not that many people stream your stuff, but you set up certain pipelines in this bit, and you could actually just keep doing your thing here. You might need to change to get there, and I'm trying to understand what does it mean to make this your target, and then just understand that if you do this consistently, that's the thing that shifts you over there. You don't have to keep trying to overstep this bit to get there. But I don't know if that's why I asked the question of, can you still pay your bills, because I don't know how realistic
I say yes, because there's publishing bags out there, isn't it? Like, there's bags where, like, if you make a particular type of sound and you make it in like a movie or whatever, those chicks pay serious. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, some of those checks will pay more than what you probably get from a label, like, do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, there's ways to maneuver. It's just obviously understanding the business as well. Yeah, man, like, that's the way I say it. It's tough, especially for the struggling artists and whatnot, but I feel like there's light at the end of the tunnel when you stick to your guns type shit. That's the way I see it. And there's examples of those, like, they might not be millionaires or whatever, but they're comfy. P Money, for example, Big Nasty. Do you know what I'm saying? These are men that I'll stick to their lanes and whatnot. Do you know what I'm saying? But they're comfy. They're doing their thing. Sure, they have a mortgage or whatever, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, their bills are paid.
they're also rare.
Exactly.
They're also rare.
Yeah, but it's also, because they stuck to their guns, though.
But because I'm gonna ask myself the question, because that's what comes to my mind every time. It's like, that's 1 in 100. But then the question I ask myself is it, or are the other people just not shouting and they're just living their lives and they're doing their thing, it's making them money, and they're getting on.
Yeah, there's plenty.
And that's why I don't know that they are fine.
Yeah,
and I'm only seeing the ones that are allowed.
Yeah.
But actually, what if there's bare people in that category that are fine?
There's loads. I think there's loads, like the little Sims of these worlds and whatnot. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, fucking, yeah. I don't know if you know Sam Henshaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, cold. He's not super huge in the UK, but he's nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah, bro. There's plenty of people that have their fan bases and they're paid, and do you know what I'm saying? They make art and they pay their bills, but I don't know. I think it's easy to say all of this from not making music and trying to do all of that shit, but I don't know, man. I understand the struggles as well as an artist, trying to just make it and pay bills and whatnot, but yeah, man, I think it's also about understanding who you are and sticking to your guns, really, and just riding it till the wheels fall off. Depending on who you are, innit?
Depending on who you... Yeah. Even the saying "riding it till the wheels fall off" is like, but that's not what we want.
Why'd you say that?
Because no one wants the wheels to fall off. You want this car to be functional
Yeah.
until you get to your destination.
Yeah.
That's what that's what we really want. And then the idea of ride it till the wheels fall off is stay committed even if it all goes to shit. But we don't want it to go to shit. So there's a little bit of like a friction in my head when I hear that of like when is it okay to assess yourself, not even quit, just assess and be like, this is not working, change direction. And that also brings me back to the artist shouldn't budge for their audience necessarily, or the audience shouldn't dictate to the artist. What if you're making terrible choices and you should actually listen to your audience?
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of a rapper that does that.
I mean, in that case, you probably should just hang it up.
Because there was a J. Cole's career, KOD, and KOD was probably the last project. No, actually, just before KOD. I think Born Sinner, 24th Forest Hill, and then KOD started to bring other producers in.
For Your Eyes Only.
For Your Eyes Only as well. I mean, the first two projects, no features. Did For Your Eyes Only have producers?
Born Sinner had features.
Oh, no, okay. So what was the run where he didn't have features on there?
2040 and For Your Eyes Only, KOD.
Okay. So those first two, and I think KOD started to have producers on there, innit? You remember when people were saying, oh, we should start getting producers because his production's getting boring on certain things. Those are kind of the narratives people are trying to run with, innit? I think for Cole, I would say it worked for him in terms of listening to what the people were saying. Do you get what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Because in that term, we've been able to get like the things like his coldest project today, in my opinion, the Fall Off. No, what's it called? Off season. Sorry. Yeah, I think that's his coldest project. So, rapping wise, anyway, in terms of rapping wise, that's his best. But yeah.
Some, I guess you could say
he
that.
wouldn't have that if he was still in his bag and just listening to himself and just not doing features and whatnot. Do you know what I mean?
But I feel like with anything, it just became fatigue at a certain point with that. Like, there's only so long an artist can just be talking to themselves and we enjoy it, in my opinion.
What? No, we was enjoying that. I was enjoying it.
But you're a Cole
KOD
more than a fan.
was the only thing where it was a bit of mid, but that was because of what he was talking about, to be fair. Like, do you know what I mean? And how he was choosing to do it as well. Like, some of the stuff like with the alter ego and shit like that. I didn't really. Like, if I'm gonna look back at that era, I loved it because I had to love it. It was a job. See what I'm saying?
You were in the core fan base. You had to go with it. You had to
literally, Cole said it, so it's cold, bro. Literally.
Tell you, man, Rock and Roll is a great song.
Bro, I think somebody posted that up recently and I was like, no way.
Yeah.
I forgot that this happened.
That whole era there.
Even the production on Rock and Roll is so tinny. Like someone made this beat inside of a tin can somewhere.
Literally.
Yeah, man.
That whole era there. What do you guys feel about it?
I feel it was necessary, even though it's bad now, listening back. But I feel like it was necessary to get to this point, because I feel like it was just, it showed that, cool, we're not really great at making this stuff, so leave it to them man to do it, and then we'll just make what we're making until the masses clocked on. And I feel like as time progressed, that started to happen. The shift went from wanting to sound mainstream to what we're doing becoming the mainstream, if that makes sense. Pardon?
Are you sure that's the case?
Yeah. Drill is mainstream, for example, but I feel drill is a different case entirely, but that's another conversation for another day, I feel. But
But I mean, in terms of like errors and having moments in the mainstream in terms of sounds and whatnot, like when we had Afro swing, for example, that was a mainstream sound at a point.
yeah.
And the reason why I bring that up is just because those were moments, I think, where we had all of those artists, I think they actually just outgrew the fact of needing to listen to labels more so. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's where they got to, in terms of they don't need to listen to what a label says, because back then an A&R saying you need to make this, you need to make that type of music and right. Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas these artists now, the Skeptas, the Chips, the Kanos, like no one can tell them what kind of songs they need to be making. Do you know what I mean? They're making it because they want to make it.
I think I like that perspective, but mine comes from the other direction. I think record labels have always pushed rappers to make poppy things.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I think what the lesson was is that these guys make more money doing their rap and their grime than they did when we tried to make them do this poppy sound. So it actually just makes more sense for it. And I think that's why after that, record labels then had more time to push a rapper for rapping, not push a rapper as a feature to a pop person. So I think it came from the other direction. I think it's like the people who are the main beneficiaries of all of this stuff is the record label.
Yeah.
And for them, for me, I feel like I've seen a massive shift of people being signed to do what they were already doing. Whereas when I was growing up, people were being signed to do pop versions of what they were already doing.
I would say the only thing I would say though is, yes, that's true, but it's because as of right now, a lot of people are being signed because, let's say for example, the mainstream sound currently-ish, it's on its way, on its kind of decline now, is the drill thing, like for example, and back then it was that whatever that sound is, isn't it? So I feel like it's more of the machine. The label's always just gonna sign the artists that are doing what is in the main thing, you know what I'm saying, in the current thing. And I don't know if it's more of I think it's more of artistic control less than the labels kind of dictating what the mainstream, do you know what I mean?
Be.
Because I'm trying to, in my head, I'm trying to figure out how did drill become the main thing. But I think, to be honest, I feel like that was probably Drake when he started to...
I said Drake.
To an extent, yeah, to make the mainstream. When he started doing the features and whatnot. Do you know what I'm saying?
But he hasn't done much drill songs. I think, I don't think he's the best example to give in terms
he
of...
didn't. That's true.
What do you call it?
He probably got the Heady One song.
That's pretty much it. In terms of mainstream, he's done like freestyles and that, but yeah, I wouldn't say like he's...
So how Heady then? Because I don't know how drill became the do you know what I'm saying, to the point where they're using drill beats on fucking Asda fucking things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like how did that happen? And I think that happened mainly just because it's the in thing now, innit? Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the sound. But I don't know how it became
It was the shift after the Afro swing era. I feel that was the next thing that caught on.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Everybody want to be a bad
Yeah, but it's caught on in a different way. Like, bro, yeah. Like, you can't escape it at this point.
What do you reckon the next sound's going to be? Do you reckon we're actually going back to rap? Because it feels like we are, though, to an extent.
music goes in cycles, innit? And I feel like it'll probably just go back to being influenced by a certain point in time. I don't know what that is.
What, there's no sound at the moment that you reckon could be the next mainstream sound? Like,
I think we're going into influencer rap. I think that's the next.
Bro,
that's the
I
next
seen
thing.
Young Philly coming to do flipping Daily Duppy.
It's gonna be influencer. Like, I think it's not gonna be a sound. It's just gonna be a culture, and the culture is gonna be like everyone just accepts. Your song just needs to bang for 30 seconds so it can slap on TikTok.
Bro,
I think that's where we are. That's where we're going. Go to
I don't know
shows.
about
saddening.
I hear it, but I think that would be, to be honest. So no. The pushback I have on that is because they're still gonna be needing to do a particular type of sound, though, innit? Like the influencers and whatnot, like for it to. Do you know what I'm saying?
But will they not just do the sound that's in right now?
Yeah, that's my.
But what would be the in sound?
Yeah.
And that's what I think. I think there's no need for an in sound, or the need for an in sound is decreasing, because the point of the pop music is called pop music because it's the most popular music.
Mm-hmm.
So then it needed a category, but now it's just whatever gets attention will be funded and resourced. So whatever influences people to make whatever decision is where the funds are going to go to now. Whereas before it went to, this sound is popular, that's why it was resourced that way. I feel like it's not going to be like genre specific. It's going to be more corporation controlled. It's like,
I feel like it's going to have to always be genre specific, though.
I think it doesn't have to. I think like humans don't need specific genres to be stimulated by stuff, as long as that people just want to feel safe and significant.
100%.
So as long as I feel like I'm listening to the thing that means I can talk with my friends and feel significant, it doesn't matter what the genre is. And as long as I can feel like I'm not going to be judged for my opinion being so left, I can feel safe. So I don't think it needs to be a specific thing, really. Like we were doing head, shoulders, knees and toes at some point in our lives. Yeah. And it was, and we were doing it with our whole chest.
Yeah.
But we didn't need to. Before we heard the sound, we didn't sell ourselves. We want to hear that sound.
Exactly.
So I think I think that's just a normal thing that happens. Like influential things influence you. But now, because of the where the world is and how things work, I think that's gonna be the thing that connects what's popular next. It's just gonna be.
I feel like it could be Afrobeats though.
I feel like Afrobeats is creating its own mainstream outside of the pop mainstream. And I think...
You reckon?
Yeah, I think Afrobeats is diversifying in its own way. It's going off on its own...
100%. There's so many subgenres within Afrobeats now. Like,
it's crazy.
There's so many people that actually don't sound... I hear that, but... Yeah, no, I heard that stuff.
That's a fact.
The popularity of it is definitely growing now as well. Generally, worldwide and whatnot.
And the reason I don't think Afrobeats would be the next sound is because when white musicians try to, or when they do successfully collaborate with Afrobeat musicians, they don't benefit as much as the Afrobeat musician. And the music industry, it does lean towards certain countries with more power, which is where certain companies are held. So the incentive to just make more black people famous and not benefit isn't really there. Yeah. Really. And then also they just don't sound as good on Afrobeats as they do on 100%. Their own songs. So that is so I mean that bridge isn't going to get built and crossed.
But I think the same reason we've got...
Say what you're saying. Say what you want to say. Say what you want to say.
But actually, not fuck it. But I think the same reason we've got let's say for example white rappers and that are doing drill music that are not on nothing, but they're doing drill sounds. For example, it's like I think it would be the same reason people jump on the Afro. Do you know what I'm saying? because it's the popular thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, but I hope I'm not wrong about this, because it'll actually be quite disheartening to be wrong about this. But I feel like because rap is a black art form that emerged in a white space, it allows that crossover to happen. Whereas Afrobeats is a black art form that emerged in a very African rooting. It's different to just suddenly see white people speaking pidgin on their song. In the same way you'll see a white rapper using the slang we've all grown up with that they might actually not have any attachment to. To see the same in Afrobeats will be a lot more jarring, I think, as an audience, to be like, okay, why is this person? And you look into it and they're not.
You have that already. Like,
and I
in
think
terms of, I've seen one white guy try to do an Afrobeat thing, and it's just like.
And I think that's why people will resist it, because it's like, that's not. This one, you can kind of see where the crossover could have happened. You can argue, did he grow up in the culture as X, Y, and Z influence? Whereas this one, the questions are a lot harder to answer.
There's no bloodlines. Like.
And that's why I think that would be harder. Not impossible, because capitalism will find a way to make money out of almost anything.
Facts.
So it might still happen, but yeah, it's an interesting question to ask. Could you imagine an entire, like a fully English musician?
That's crazy.
Coming out with like a top 5 Afrobeat song.
Ed Sheeran
with no features, speaking pidgin.
Okay.
Like, sounding like not on an African instrumental.
Because even when Ed is
trying to sound like us,
Peru verse and whatnot.
Bro, he done a song with singing in tree.
Like, there was a lot of resistance.
That's
to
not
that.
the Peru song, is it?
No.
He did another one. There was a lot of resistance to that.
Yeah.
And that's someone that there's a lot of argument of Ed Sheeran brings black people in the industry, and actually he tries his best not to. Someone like that, there was still resistance to. So if it was just anyone who's like, I like Afrobeats, I'm gonna put on an accent and do it. Yeah. I don't think we're there yet.
That's crazy.
And I hope we don't get there. But
yeah,
I don't think we're there yet.
To be honest, I don't want to see that. So I'll talk myself out of that. But I don't want to see that. That would be some foolishness, bro.
Can you imagine that?
That would be crazy, bro.
That's like their whole stick, their whole appeal, to just do Afrobeat songs and that. Which is fair enough if you, like you said, they're in or been immersed in the culture. But for you to just come out from, like, let's say the Midlands or whatever and just say, man's an Afrobeat artist, that's crazy to me still.
There's a part of me that wants to see it just to know that it is bad in real life, not just in my imagination. But
because even I don't really want to see it. But I mean, how did the Asians feel when the rappers are saying Arknos and Colos and do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't want to see it though, man. Don't be talking about pounded gem and whatnot that you ate from Tasty and that Lowney, man.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah,
we don't need to be.
Yeah,
that's so true. We don't need that stuff. We don't need it.
And I think that's why Afrobeats is, but because Afrobeats is so strong, even though the white musicians aren't going to be able to benefit from it in that way, it's still not going to, their resistance is still, I don't think their resistance is still going to be enough to stop Afrobeats growing. And that's why I think it's creating its own, I think the mainstream, when I say the mainstream, I'm referring to like the Western, UK, US mainstream. I think there is an African mainstream.
Yeah.
And then I think that's what keeps them with a little bit of space between them. It's just that thing of like, actually it just doesn't benefit white musicians as much as it could.
What you're saying is true, because even when you look at the shows for like Burna Boy, Wizkid, actually no, Burna Boy is different to Wizkid, I think. But Wizkid, his audience is black people.
100%.
Like when I think Davido the same way, but I think he's got a lot of white people as well. But same as Wizkid. But I mean, people that come to the shows now, like it's a black crowd filling out the O2.
Yeah.
Which doesn't happen for rappers It don't happen for rappers. Like, if they
rappers
whatever
are
rapper you
completely
want to
different.
come to, if they're going to the O2, minority is going to be black people. Like, whoever the rapper is. Like, so I think what you're saying there is very, very true in terms of like the Afrobeats. They have their mainstream within the Africans and the black people, etc., etc. But within hip hop and whatnot, it's definitely, it's different.
I agree.
What I want to hear next is I want to hear jazz rap. That's what I want to hear next.
What does that sound like? Give me an
I
example.
don't know yet. That's why I want to hear it.
Is there anybody that you reckon that's close to it? That's close to a sound that's...
To be honest, Kendrick Lamar is probably the most popular person that you can say jazz rap and you can explain it and people will see what you mean.
because of the sax? You know?
It's not because of the sax. It's because of the arrangement of the instrumentation. Like that's the...
Oh.
It's really intentionally how certain instruments are layered and what like the patterns that they play in is what makes a difference from jazz to blues, or for example.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, and then Damn is an example. I want to see other people's interpretation of rap albums like Damn. That's what I want to see. Like Damn is a great example of this is not the easiest listen, but from an artistic perspective, this is amazing. It's not the easiest listen for. It depends where you're like, where your mind is at when you're listening potentially, or what you're listening for. But
I
for
thought
me,
that was his most.
I would say that's the
album.
ease. Nah,
That's his most palatable album, no?
palatable.
I think it is, to be honest.
I would even. But me, I'll listen to Section 80 before I listen to Damn every time.
Yeah. But
then does that not mean Section 80 is more palatable than Damn?
no. That's
Okay.
just that you prefer it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, for me, Damn was a. I had to appreciate the jazz to appreciate all of it, whereas there are other things where I was being introduced to elements of music that I wasn't familiar with. And I didn't have to know anything about it, and I could appreciate it, and for me that's the difference. Because there were some bits in Damn where I was just like, this is only good because I've studied music theory at some point in life. That's why this is actually good. Really, if I didn't have that...
Really? You reckon that's... Because I feel like that was his most... I would say commercial take in terms of being... Oh, I'm going to try and... I create music for creating music, but this is going to be... I feel like that's his most... I've created music to appease type. Do you know what I'm saying? Like... To an extent.
Maybe that's why. Because I and this is the same thing of setting your audience in it. So I don't expect Kendrick Lamar to appease me, which is probably why I then viewed it from that perspective of this is not Kendrick being Kendrick.
Yeah.
This is a hard listen. This isn't. Maybe that's why I thought that. So that's what made it a hard listen for me. I'll probably say then if I think about it again. It's like this is not. There is an edge that's not here, or there is an edge that is here but isn't you. So it's like.
And to pimp Butterfly is the perfect balance between the two, I'd say. In terms of like commercial and conscious.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like he disregarded anything to do with commerciality on the album.
You say that, but King Kuta, isn't that on there?
King Con, bro.
That's on there, isn't it?
Those
He's screaming about being a failure.
But production and everything on there though. Like those were sounds definitely in that era, like the trappish, and do you know what I'm saying? Like
onto Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah. King Kuta especially, like I think that's a song that is 100% like it's conscious to an extent, but it's also can be played in the clubs type shit.
No way.
Yeah.
If I'm ever at a club and they're playing King Kunta, I'm leaving that place.
Nah, you haven't heard it mixed in.
With what?
Nah, that's a good... Nah.
Bro, why am I gonna hit which way? Where was you when I was walking? Now run the game, got a whole world talking King Kunta. No. That's not what I'm trying to turn up to.
Nah, I think if the DJ's cold, he's mixing it.
No.
Shout
I'd
out
understand like
Jammer
an
Beats.
alright,
Shout out Jammer Beats. He's mixing
but
that one.
no.
I'm putting that on Jammer. Even though I don't know if he's done it, but
Bro, I would hope not.
Shout him out anyway.
Shout out to Beats though. But yeah.
I remember watching this kind of docu breakdown of To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah.
And Good Kid, Mad City, and the even just the story construction of that, like, that's a good body of work.
Yeah, man.
And there's a continuation of Good Kid, Mad City as well. It's a very interesting story.
Yeah.
But,
all right.
Bro, there's nothing. Stop it.
This dick ain't
Stop
free.
it. Stop it. None of that should be played in a facility where you're trying to turn up, have a good time.
but to be honest, in terms of commercials, not just in the dance, isn't it? So it's music that's going to be used in movies. It's going to be used on TV. It's going to get played on radio. It's going to do all that. But then also, you are going to be able to like consciously reflect on what he's talking about. Subject matter is going to be deep and have weight.
Yeah.
So if you think, it was a good balance of both. Like think about how many people made reels, videos, with all the little. How many men? This decade free. How many women would?
Bro.
It had that like appeal on that level.
Yes.
And then you can get super deep with it, and then agency will use it as the backing track for an ad, or they'll take the instrumental and use it for. Yeah, it did. Commercially, it's not just the club.
Okay. Oh, that's a fair point.
It's just not a.
No, but there were some rhythms that were definitely spinning.
What? Bro.
But to be fair, not as much as Good Kid, because Swimming Pool and that was spinning.
For me, I don't even understand how swimming pools became a track to play in a club, to be honest. It's the very antithesis of why you are there in the first place.
But that's why it's such a good song.
Exactly.
Because it creates the environment that is the opposite of the lyrics. Like that's amazing. That's crazy, no?
It is crazy. I just never understood it. This guy's telling you actively how drinking excessively can lead to issues. But people are still turning up to it. You have people singing the hook word for word. It's fascinating to see. I just don't understand it. How that has happened, but
I think that just shows the level of goatness of Kendrick, to be
fair.
100%.
Could say that, man.
To be able to create a record that talks about what he's talking about and it to be played in certain places. Yeah, man. He's really him, but Cole's still number one.
Whatever, man. Whatever. Let's run.
Is that your pick between the two? Cole over Kendrick?
Yeah.
Talk me through that. Yeah, it was.
It's pretty simple, to be honest.
Yeah, go on.
Cole, he's got the lyrical technical. He's lyrically technical, and it's easy to digest.
Fine.
Okay.
When you said lyrically technical, the first thing in my mind was like, no, Kendrick's been doing rap gymnastics since day one.
Exactly, yeah.
Easy to digest. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair
that's
enough.
what he
doing
has
both
on,
of it.
That's what
enough.
he has on him.
Fair enough.
But I would say when it comes down to it, like, because I was gonna try and give Kendrick some thing, but like in terms of range and what he can do as an artist and whatnot. But I think Cole has shown his range as well with his projects. So yeah, I'm saying you wouldn't say he's giving range.
Not necessarily, but
What do you mean?
I don't think compared to Kendrick, I don't think the range can be compared. to be honest.
I can give you that.
No.
I can give you that still because
what do you mean by range first? Before I disagree with you, I should know what you mean.
okay, so range is like let's say for example the singing, the doing the hooks, the voice alterations and whatnot. Like, do you know what I'm saying? All of that is range for me.
When you break it down like that, there's even less of a comparison, to be honest.
What I said.
Are you comparing the quality of it, or are you comparing the presence of it? Because it is present.
Okay,
So
it is present. The quality is not comparable whatsoever.
I think it's unfortunate because obviously, like I just said, even on this fucking episode, the Kill Edward bit wasn't really a fan of. Whereas Kendrick's done stuff similar to that, where it's kind of like,
okay, for example, channeling his mum, for example, on what's the track? You Ain't Gotta Lie, off To Pimp a Butterfly, or talking through the lens of like Keisha's sister on Sing About Me or whatever, just shit like that. Cole, for me, hasn't done it to that level. Yeah, he done it through like the whole Kill Edward shit, but it kind of fell flat, to be honest with you.
On the storytelling thing though, he has.
Bro,
find
me a better storytelling track.
You know the song I always come up with when I talk about storytelling.
Bro.
And that is, I think for you, is Changes of For Your Eyes Only, where he's talking from the two perspective, him and his friend's perspective.
Yeah,
that is it. And when I'm talking about
that's fine. Then I raise you how much $1 costs off To Pimp a Butterfly, bro. He's talking about meeting homeless man who turns out to be God or whatever. But he's giving you the story bit by bit, and it's only towards the end that you get it. But just how the way he paints it, yeah, nah. I'm taking that over For Your Eyes Only. That's what I'm saying. Any day of the week. Any day of the week.
I feel like I see what you're saying. I do see what you're saying. Like, it is there, it is present. And I have to disagree. I have to disagree with you. I think it is a comparable quality. The difference is one person has done a lot of it and one person hasn't done as much of it. But of what he's done, it is a comparable. Like, in my opinion, anyway, I can compare how J. Cole has done this variety thing with his voice, his approach, with his perspectives. It is achieving the same type of feeling that Kendrick is doing. Kendrick has been doing it for more years before J. Cole started doing it. So of course you're gonna notice that. But I don't think that's because J. Cole is doing a worse version.
Yeah. And also he's giving us hooks and and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
J. Cole ripped apart Kanye West from a philosophical perspective and made it so that you could bop your head to it. And I really appreciate that. So, like, whereas if Kendrick did the same, you would be somber. Like, you would be like, this is really. Whereas J. Cole, you can have it playing in the car, was roof down.
Yeah.
It is and I prefer Kendrick, so I can say that. But for me, I think for what I appreciate in rap music, Kendrick just does that better. Which is I want the depth. I want to feel that you took me from what I was feeling before I pressed play, and you made me feel something else, and you brought me back. And Kendrick does that more. Whereas J. Cole, like if I play my favorite J. Cole song in the background whilst I'm doing something else, it can stay in the background. If I play my favorite Kendrick song in the background whilst I'm doing something else, it's not. It's gonna get turned up. It's gonna distract me.
What song would you be playing? Like, you reckon is gonna stay in the background for Cole?
There isn't a Cole song. Like, if I'm just playing something in the background and I want to work on something else, there isn't a Kendrick song that I could play that I would be able to do that. I would end up singing the song or being distracted. Whereas with Cole, it's like, it's good and I appreciate it. But if I don't want to focus on it, I can choose not to.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
1,000% disagree.
That's crazy.
Like if I'm like, oh yeah, I want to listen. I want to listen to like I want to listen to some Cole. Then I'll put it on. Then it will hold my attention. Whereas Kendrick doesn't give me an option. Like it's gonna steal my attention. It's gonna take my focus. And for me, that's the difference. It's like actually, I think they're comparable. I think they can execute similarly, but one grabs my attention, and the other one is a good musician and a great artist and really capable.
Wait, hold
just
on.
Doesn't grab my attention though.
Wait, hold on. So wait, what did you just said something? One's a great artist.
Nah.
What? Yeah, go on.
Like one grabs my attention. Like one, you press play and your attention isn't going anywhere. You don't get a choice anymore. And the other one is a great musician, a great artist, has range, can do all these things. And it for me, it doesn't result in being able to grab my attention. But I think the reason I think that is because I wasn't a big fan of early J. Cole. I think I wasn't really
so
that's fair.
like when did you start becoming understanding and how is that fair? Well,
That's fair.
For me, do you know what it was? Yeah,
That's fair.
I listened to.
when did it start for you?
I listened to Friday Night Lights. I was like, I listened to Truly Yours too. It was just it was just a mixtape on SoundCloud at the time. And he was apologizing for everyone for all the beats that he was taking without asking.
Yeah.
That was the one that I was like, okay, cool. This is I will make space for the other stuff if I can have a bit of this as well. Cool. That was the beginning for me. Whereas Section 80 was the first Kendrick thing I ever heard. I had to go back and listen to other stuff. And it was like that from the beginning. You're like, what the hell? This is a movie. I'm listening to a movie. This isn't a rap album only.
Rigor Mortis is what put me onto Kendrick still.
He featured on a Birdman song. That was the first Kendrick verse I ever heard.
Oh, what's the track called?
Birdman.
Yeah, B-Boys.
I just remember the beginning of his verse was like, talk about it. Make him talk about it. To this day, I remember
B-Boys.
that bit.
Yeah, B-Boys.
I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. But to be honest, they were definitely neck and neck. If Kendrick was ahead, it was only slightly at that point. Like Section 80 and Truly Yours for me were like, this is
file.
They're contemporaries definitely. And then one definitely, like, thank God that Nas told J. Cole what he told J. Cole.
Bravo.
One went a certain direction and then came back.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, I think all of that considered, it's just been easier to stay a Kendrick core fan.
Yeah.
For me anyway, it's just been easy.
Yeah, I can't lie, I just feel like his story's just a lot more intriguing and interesting than J. Cole's, to be honest. Personally speaking.
What do you mean his story?
In terms of the subjects he's willing to touch on, what he talks about, how he talks about them, how he delivers it. For me personally, it's just more interesting to listen to Kendrick. Even though I would say Cole is, in terms of a rapper's rapper, I think that he's better than Kendrick in that aspect. Just being a raw rapper. If, like, let's say we have like a cypher today, who am I gonna say that delivers the best? I would say Cole.
I think that one would be hard though, man. Because when it comes to spitting, Kendrick can really do that shit too.
So can Cole.
I know, but have you seen Kendrick when he did the they threw the words at him at that radio station?
That's what I was gonna say. Have you seen Kendrick freestyle, bro?
Yeah,
but Cole can do that too. Cole can do that.
We ain't seen him do that. We ain't seen him do freestyles that look like.
Cole's done more freestyles than Kendrick.
But how do we know they're not written?
Yeah.
you have your own definition as to what a freestyle is. This guy thinks if you write it prior or memorize it prior, that can't be considered a freestyle.
Traditionally, it's not.
Oh, brothers. Guys.
Traditionally, it's not.
But how many people are doing that?
But that's not because. So if we all break the rule,
exactly,
that doesn't mean the rule now never existed.
Literally, oh my days, bro.
Listen.
That's literally it, bro. That one, bro. Because what?
Listen. There's nothing wrong for me to do that and put that out as a freestyle.
No, I say it all the time. My issue is calling it a freestyle. If it's bars, call it bars.
So what are you calling it?
Call it bars, no hooks. Don't call it a freestyle, bro. Call it bars, no hooks. Don't call it a freestyle.
Because I guess nowadays a freestyle is I wrote this and there's no style. It's just a free form call. Yeah. But that's a new definition to that term, man.
Bro,
it's a new, like people used to get clowned for having written.
But do you know the thing I've been clocking though, yeah? From when I found out that Wayne had writers for certain errors in his thing, that's when I was like, okay, maybe this whole thing's bullshit. So, because Wayne's one of those guys where I say, why the hell would he need a writer type shit, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? But he's someone that's had a writer. So it's like, I don't know what's real no more, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe everything I grew up on was bullshit. And
maybe
these niggas,
everyone had a writer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Maybe niggas are actually memorizing that shit and it's coming through. Do you know what I'm saying? So, it's just all tough. If there's no 5 Fingers of Death, for example, or do you know what I'm saying, like all those things.
How do you know?
How do you know man's actually got it? We don't. So it's tough. It's tough now, bro. It's tough.
I feel like that writer thing though, that's a symptom of the game. That's a symptom of the size of the artist. I mean, it gets to a point where actually you by yourself cannot produce as much output as is being demanded of you.
Bro.
You just can't.
That's a cop out though.
How?
I don't think it's a cop out.
It is a cop out.
I think it's the reality.
Bro,
like, the people putting pressure on you are not gonna wait for you to write every verse. So even if you are like, you have that, what's the word? That integrity that no, all my verses are gonna be mine. When man comes back and says, pay back the advance, then you haven't written enough, it starts applying pressure, you're going to. Because now you're legally liable. That is not about what you want to do anymore. And I think that's the thing.
It goes down to the conversation we've been having all this episode. Just depends on the artist you have, the artist you are. Because if you want to live this commercial bag, the Aubreys of this world, you'll be doing that. But if you're Kendrick Cole, you're not going to be doing none of that foolishness.
Bro, how do you know
what?
That them man haven't done that before?
What? Cole had writers?
Yes.
If he had writers, it's probably for hook at most.
Here you go with a copium again. Brother.
And even then I won't rate it. But I won't rate it if that came out to be the case. But I wouldn't be mad because I never listened to Cole because...
Okay, so if you know that, if it came out that, yeah, indeed, at some point he did have writers, would you put him on the same pedestal you have him on?
What, for what though?
In terms of how high you hold him.
I said specifically writing him for hooks.
No, don't try to shift the goalpost.
Didn't I say that?
Don't try to shift the goalpost. Don't try to shift the goalpost.
If he had writers for hooks,
okay,
I wouldn't be mad. If he had writers for verses,
you brought up Drake in reference. Wait, hold on. You brought up Drake in reference to that conversation.
Yeah.
In the same way that Drake has been criticized for having writers, if it came out that Cole had the same in terms of having writers at some point, would you still hold him?
No.
You wouldn't?
No. Why would I?
Okay.
Well, because bro, then he didn't do what he's supposed to have done. He can't be saying he's the best. He can't be going.
I disagree.
He's the one and not the funeral. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, he can't be doing none of those bars now.
I disagree. I just feel like people have unrealistic expectations in terms of certain artists.
No.
How?
No,
Bro,
I just like to.
You're
know
not gonna
if
write
you can't-
every
if you
single
can't,
thing.
Fair play, but you don't have to drop all the time as well. Some do, depending on the artist you are. So there's that. That's what it's down to, bro.
Oh, bro,
If you want to live in this world where you want to be dropping all the time, then yeah, get your writers, man. Send them to Turks and Caicos or whatever you want.
Oh, here you go. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up. Because I'm tired. Please.
But you would. I just wanted to say that you would have to take him down at least a little bit.
Yeah, 100%.
Because the reason he's it's a
Up
podium,
there.
man. If you ran the race and then you get tested and you cheated.
Yeah, bro.
You didn't run that race.
Facts.
I don't. Me personally, I don't consider
So what?
it.
You're giving him. You're gonna look at Cole the same way if he had reference tracks.
Bro, I understand that
Reference tracks, bro.
I understand that you're not going to get everything right.
Nah, I'm not gonna hear that. If I heard that from Cole, I'll be so ashamed, bro. I would be so ashamed, bro.
Fans are
I'm not
mad
even gonna lie
fickle.
to you. I'll be so ashamed.
Fickle.
Because now,
Brother.
what, is he an actor?
What you mean?
So why is he saying other people's words?
Brother, so you're just gonna,
Literally.
but you're gonna disregard
Stop it.
the heap of music that he's done on his own, just
But how do
because
I
he's
know?
got a
How do I know what's him?
okay.
Some
but
NDAs might be tighter than others. That's what that situation
you're
looks like.
joking.
Do you know what I'm saying?
You're joking, mate. Listen,
That's what that looks like now, bro.
me personally, I don't look at collaborating on music as a slight.
Cope him like you like.
Fuck off. Listen. Me personally, I look at music as being the best because you can collab on it. Like, that's fine. Like, some of the best music has been from multiple hands. I have no issue with that.
Collab, but
I don't fuck with that.
Why?
Nah, because if you said you did it, you should be the person that did it.
exactly, bro.
And for
Okay,
me,
what about the likes of Kanye?
yeah, I was a massive Kanye West fan, and it was a mad conflict for me because, like, actually, there are songs that have gotten me through hard times because I felt like I could relate with this artist I'm really into. To now found out the artist didn't even write the song. So who was I relating to? I don't even know.
You're still relating to him because he performed it.
I was relating to his performance and
That's-
maybe his vision,
you know, on
but the
another
words
note-
meant something
on
to
another
me.
note-
Who spoke those words? I don't even know
On
their
another
name.
note, yeah.
It doesn't matter though because you got them.
On another note, that's why Bear Man, I'm mad about Will Smith right now.
Why?
Bad Boys. How's he the Bad Boys and he's taking this from his missus?
Oh, stop it. Brother, let's not even conflate different things. Because now we're just talking about
That's
two
exactly
completely
what it
different
is.
things. I'm not, nah.
Will Smith was
Shout out
out
Will
for the
Smith.
goat, do you know what I'm saying?
Listen,
And
shout
now-
out Will Smith, yeah. But I'm not even gonna say nah. Let's not even compare that. Because
That is it.
Nah.
That is it, though.
What do you mean?
That's the comparison, bro.
Nah.
That comparison makes plenty of sense, bro.
Why?
Because, bro, people loved Will Smith and considered him this man. Do you know
Because
what
he
I'm
was
saying?
an actor.
Yes, exactly. Actor. And what they loved him for was Bad Boys. Do you know what I'm saying? All of these movies where he's, do you know what I'm saying, kind of thuggish and rare. And now,
So
man's
People
like, do you know what
are-
I'm saying?
surprised that an actor isn't like him in films. He's a completely different person in real life.
Okay.
That's what you're trying to say to me right now.
Yes.
I mean, I'm gonna draw a comparison to close the gap between because I hear what you're saying, but from what you said earlier,
Yeah.
if the artist shouldn't be controlled by their audience, why do you need writers to keep up with your audience's demand? You should just do what you want to do, right? You should like what are you responding to?
Mm.
If it's not the audience who
Let
want
that
more.
one sink in.
And I think that's the close, like the Will Smith thing is like you put out an image, you let people run with it.
Mm-hmm.
They've now run with it. You've benefited from how people view you.
Yeah.
And now the way people view you, that you let them run with, that you could have stopped them from running with, is now seeming a little bit questionable.
Mm-hmm.
It's fair that people will be like, huh, what was all that about? And it's the same thing you would feel about J. Cole. If you found out, let's say 20-30% of his songs was written by other people.
Crazy.
You'd be like, bro,
that would be crazy.
So
bro.
why was he talking about false prophets then?
Exactly.
Like, why was he... Yeah, like, you have questions. At the very least, you have questions.
Facts. And on that note, we got a playlist called Drake Could Never. If you got 2 songs that you'd like to add to the playlist, any genre, whatever you've been feeling.
Yeah. I'm gonna take from. I have a playlist called "Your Boyfriend Is Not This Interesting." Take it from there.
Okay. Alright, I'll think about that. That's a fair point.
Ooh, that's a good question, actually.
Yeah,
That's fair point.
Actually, yeah, the song that's been my theme song for this year is Hillbillies.
I don't know if it's already on that. Let me see.
Hillbillies by...
What's the actual name of the song? They called themselves the Hillbillies.
Yeah, they
Kendrick
Hillbillies.
and... What's the name of the song?
Yeah, Baby Keem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I did want that.
Yeah, it's already on there.
Did you guys know about the hoodies?
The hoodies.
Yeah.
Who?
Just 2, I think they're brothers, but they're Americans, innit? And they're rappers, bro.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know. Let me see. They got an album and it's produced by, what's his name? Fucking... one of the goats. I forgot. Dupree? What's his name?
Oh, Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah. Produced by him.
Is Terra Incognita in there?
I don't think so. Let me see. I didn't really love it. I can't lie.
It's not the easiest listen. It's not the easiest listen. But I like it for... There's some songs I don't like because it's not easy listening. There's some songs I like because it's like, okay, you're still early in your run. This is an experiment. I'm a fan. Go ahead, do your thing.
Okay, I did that one.
Also,
yeah, that's what I'm going. Not that.
I'm gonna add Filth by Zeno Vinci. It's off his EP, Filthy and Disgusting.
I'm gonna add No Doubt.
No Doubt by who?
Rags Original, Nuts and Lady Dawn.
Yeah.
I heard that song randomly, it's cold still.
Yeah.
Someone should add Clutch at some point. I don't know if I can.
Clutch by
Barney Artist.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I ain't listened to Barney Artist in time.
What is he dropping again? Like, or
I don't know if he's dropping. This was months ago actually.
oh, okay,
yeah.
okay. Because I remember there was a time where he wasn't dropping, and then I think he came back. But I don't know if he's.
There was a couple of years.
He's back now. Would you say?
He dropped a few yet last year as well actually.
Okay.
So I guess he's probably yeah. There was a period of time in life where I was a gospel rapper. But anyway, we don't need to get into that.
Do you know about Nick Brewer as well?
Yeah, Nick Brewer.
Because he lived in the Romford Barking Dagenham area.
Oh, yeah.
Him, Governor B, Triple O.
Yeah.
All those.
Nick Bro is one of my favorites still. I remember he was cold. I remember the mixtapes that he had that were
rapping about his Corsa that doesn't have any.
Yeah, he's cold. I don't know if he still makes music, but yeah, he's cold.
From time to time, though, I think not last year, but 2021, he put something out. I don't know if it was a mixtape or a single song.
Okay. What else? I'm gonna add.
It's 365 Days by Frank Equa. I think I put that one there last time. Yeah.
I need to double check. I'm gonna add No Heart by Kwollem. Oh wait, I think it is already in there.
What about Back to Back by Young Dolph and Key Glock?
Yeah, 365 Days is already on there. Back to Back. No. Oh gosh. I did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's done.
I just want to play the bit of this freestyle before we cut. The Hoodies, they did a Sway Universe freestyle, and it's absolutely crazy.
Oh wait, is that the older guy and then his younger brother? Oh yeah, I've heard them. Wait, turn it on.
Drop a beat on them, turn that shit up.
Let's go, Pop.
The hoodies are here.
How you want this class? Hold on, let me get right. I'm comfortable.
Talk your talk, bro. Let's go.
Listen.
Let's go, Pop.
Look, these niggas pro pump fakers ain't no problem with me. Slow Drake up in the trunk, I got a Adonis with me. I gotta pay the bros back cause they was riding with me. If you my dog in this war, you should be sided with me. That's word to Meek, some niggas died before they grammar. Or they started tripping and then fell into the slammer. I gotta go bananas. You can't hold your own shit, you always got pampered. And think you have an answer like, homie, my mother is a G, I'm talking big business. Right. And she told me never sing like this Christmas. Right. Look, the crib ain't mine, but it sticks in it. And I keep them bands rolling, no limp biscuit. The wrist rocky, bitches on pop. Treat it like a game while you hunting for a body. Right. Brody hit him 12 times and then scream Yahtzee. Niggas be gangster till they looking like you shot me. Brand new truck is bright orange Mandarin. That's all for selling pain, no Anthony Hamilton. Some all black-ish, I'm like Anthony Anderson. These niggas be fake, but they was real when I ran with them. I do it off the hip, I feel like two raring them. There's 4 thotties with me and bro still sharing them. That's right. Y'all be with them cop lovers, I been keeping track. But you know goofy niggas love to chill with rap. That's right. I heard Shorty was a thotty and you want her back. You would think she like the shop the way she go to Saks. Y'all live life like I could do it again. I knew somebody that was neutral till the strip got bent. Now he's in a wheelchair, he been crip ever since. It's all facts, no cap, I can't give nothing less. If I tell bro to lace them MBs, he gon' crash on you. Right. Rey Mysterio, he flipping with that mask on you. Play with all, so when you die, we can brag on you. Ain't no sympathies or RIPs, but we gon' laugh for you. I run the Ville like Superman, that's why they got a problem. Shit, I could probably fit like 30 in them Fendi jobs. On my doggies, he swell, it's the finest dining. Steak with a cooked potato, no Bobby Johnson. I do a ringer, I don't let that shit get to me until I got the bag. The bros know they had to spin for free. I be in my feelings,
check it out,
you ain't hear a shit from me. Mommy told me
check it out, they spit.
Yeah.
I see what you mean, real rap.
Yeah.
I missed that.
Trust.
There's raw rap everywhere. Yeah, nah, you good.
Let me just praise bro.
You and you try getting back shit. Violate, I'm playing Jeffrey off of Fresh Prince. I'm cleaning house, that's it. It's too much acting, not enough action. I ain't saying y'all niggas mad or y'all actually capping. But y'all niggas is not gangster, y'all passionate rappers. And I come from a long lineage of actual trappers, gangbangers. All that shit play the actual factor. Master my craft, so I didn't have to adapt to the madness. Still active, ready to crash if we cast to the rap shit. Y'all niggas rapping for the views, I rap cause I have to. My options is digital scales, baggies, and capsules. I'm more James St. Patrick, you actually Casper.
Because you're rapping for the views as well.
Hold on, I'm not.
So stop the cap.
Stop it.
Stop the cap. It sounds good, but stop the cap. Stop the cap. Because ultimately, everybody's rapping to be successful. Stop the cap.
And that's the problem with the game. No one, you gotta rap to be good at rapping.
Trust me.
And then just let people show up.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. But yeah. Anyway,
We got man.
that's decent.
That's cool.
But yeah, where can people find you, Farouk? Where can they find you?
Yeah, on Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, it's all the same, _XUEST. Or if you want to do something fun that you don't usually do, I have a website called SideQuest, so side-XUEST. Go find something interesting to do on there, man. Yeah.
Sick.
What is on there? Like what?
Go and find out.
Okay.
Say less. Say less. Say less. The mystery.
Plus,
Come.
hey, we gone.
Hey, yeah, yeah, baby, please.